Tonight on Frontline,
the Janjaweed sweep in, killing all the men, raping women.
The tragedy in Darfur.
We have many reports of babies being killed. The brutal barbarism is almost beyond description.
For years, despite bold declarations,
genocide has been committed in Darfur.
The world's great powers failed to stop the killing.
The UN, as a means of preventing genocide, cannot do the job.
Darfur just isn't important enough to anybody.
And perhaps worst of all, Khadija Abdullah still lives in fear.
It is not safe to go beyond this hill. Those camel men you see there will rape any woman who dares to go that way.
The women in the camps in Chad and Darfur risk rape every day. They need wood to cook, and every day they have to travel farther to get it. The police officer who investigated these war crimes is still haunted by the testimony she collected.
I know 19 of the women who were raped, but there were many more. I think about 50 in total. First they raped the young girls and then us. I was raped by 9 men. Every woman was raped by many men. 5 of the young girls who were raped went to the hospital for 6 months and then they died. I went to the hospital in Mornay and was there for 28 days. We think she had a hysterectomy. And then at the end I asked, because she sat in front of everyone while she waited to be interviewed, if she was not concerned about her safety now. She basically said it didn't matter because she wanted to die. Anyway.
The number of civilians affected by conflict has continued to grow at a rate that has outpaced the ability of humanitarian agencies to...
The Sudanese delegation seemed unmoved by the February 2005 report from the UN Special Envoy to Sudan, Jan Pronk.
This is a dismal picture.
We are a developing country, we have our shortcomings, but we are unfairly treated, and the issue of Darfur has been blown out of proportion.
There would be 7 more resolutions in 2005. An arms embargo, a referral to the International Criminal Court, and an attempt to get troops on the ground. A small contingent of African Union troops had entered Darfur in 2004 to monitor a peace deal that fell apart. Every maneuver at the UN to bolster their numbers would fail. Everyone knew the force was underfunded, under-equipped, and unprepared. But it was all that Sudan would allow. It was another parade of UN weakness.
And they know full well that the African Union cannot find the resources, the military resources, to change the security dynamic on the ground. A grim genocide by attrition will proceed indefinitely.
Political progress at the UN has come years too late for the hundreds of thousands who died in Darfur, and the millions driven from their homes. And too late, too, for the refugees in Chad. Too late for the woman who lost her leg to a bullet wound. Or her neighbor, who had his eyes gouged out by the Janjaweed.
I am living like a dead man. In the past, I was an able person. Our suffering will continue. The Janjaweed will not stop their attacks. This place is not safe.
And despite the successes of the Darfur movement, some activists, too, are left with a sense of despair.
But I think if we look to the UN in its present form as a mechanism, as an international means of preventing genocide, I think Darfur presents overwhelming evidence that this is not possible. This institution cannot do the job.
And so it goes. In another of hell's waiting rooms, a blind man, unprotected in a lawless land, waits for the world to finally live up to its promises.
This report continues on our website, where you can watch the program again online. Explore a 4-year chronology of the world's failure to act in Darfur.
So how important is Darfur?
Read the extended interviews,
Blowing this out of proportion.
as well as the producer's notes about the making of this program. Then join the discussion at pbs.org.